Defining the world's most powerful countries is not always clear-cut and can be subjective. The most powerful nations are the ones that shape global economic patterns, preoccupy policymakers, and tend to have strong defense and military. Foreign policies of powerful countries are closely tracked and consistently dominate news headlines around the world. When they make a pledge, at least some in the international community trust they will keep it. In this video, we want to take a look at the top 10 most powerful countries in the world in 2021. But before we begin, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Please give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our weekly uploads. Let's get it on. 1. United States. The United States of America is a North American nation that is the world's most dominant economic and military power. Likewise, its cultural imprint spans the world, led in large part by its popular culture expressed in music, movies, and television. In November 2020, the country elected Joe Biden as its 46th president, removing Donald Trump after one term. The country is still grappling with the COVID-19 pandemic and the ensuing deep economic recession, and calls for greater social justice reignited in the country following the death of Black American George Floyd at the hands of police in May 2020. Public demands to address racial inequality in the country, expressed in institutions such as the criminal justice system and healthcare, spurred similar movements in countries around the world. With a GDP of $20.5 trillion and a population of 372 million people, the U.S. will likely stick at the top for a while. 2. Russia. The scale of Russia is difficult to imagine. It's the world's largest country by landmass, nearly twice as big as Canada, the world's second largest nation, and covers all of Northern Asia and much of Eastern Europe. It shares land borders with more than a dozen countries and shares sea borders with Japan and the United States. With a GDP of $1.7 trillion and a population of close to 150 million, the Putin-led nation has all the reasons to be feared. 3. China. Home to one of the world's oldest civilizations, China has been ruled by the Communist Party since 1949, when the nation was established as the People's Republic of China. The country is the world's most populous and is considered the second largest by landmass. With a population topping 1.4 billion, China's GDP stands at $13.6 trillion. Today, China is known for having one of the fastest growing economies in the world. New skyscrapers seem to be popping up every day. However, China also is home to some of the oldest written records in history. The history and culture of China are incredibly unique and enticing. It would take a lifetime to learn all there is to know about China. In square footage, China is the fourth largest country in the world, after the United States, Canada, and Russia. Even though China is the fourth largest, it has the highest population in the world. And did you know that toilet paper was discovered in China? Now you know. 4. Germany. With a population of approximately 83 million people and a GDP of $4 trillion, Germany, the most populous nation in the European Union, possesses one of the largest economies in the world and has seen its role in the international community grow steadily since reunification. The Central European country borders 9 nations, and its landscapes varies, from the northern plains that reach to the north and the Baltic Seas to the Bavarian Alps in the south. The countries are Denmark, Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. Did you know that the following cities have all at one time or another been the capitals of Germany? Aachen, Regensburg, Frankfurt am Main, Nuremberg, Berlin, Weimar, Bonn, and East Berlin, and since 1990, Berlin again. Now you know. 5. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is a highly developed nation that exerts considerable international economic, political, scientific, and cultural influence. Located off the northwest corner of Europe, the country includes the island of Great Britain, which contains England, Scotland, and Wales, and the northern portion of the island of Ireland. The country's role on the global stage faces new questions as the nation withdrew from the European Union, as well as a policy supporting the Eurozone. 6. France. It is difficult to overstate the influence France has on the world, both in the past and today. Located in Western Europe, France is one of the world's oldest countries, and its reach extends around the globe through science, politics, economics, and perhaps above all, culture. Starting in the Middle Ages, France evolved through the kingdom, empire, and finally into a republic. It was one of the first nations to champion the rights of the individual. Did you know that the Tour de France cycle race has been running for over 100 years? The world's most prestigious cycling race was first held in 1903. It has run every year since, save for 2 world wars. In 2020, the race was delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic, but it still went ahead. 7. Japan. One of the world's most literate and technically advanced nations is an East Asian country made up of 4 main islands. While most of Japan is covered by mountains and heavily wooded areas, the country's roughly 126 million people lead a distinctly urban lifestyle. Long culturally influenced by its neighbors, today the country blends its ancient traditions with aspects of Western life. Japan has a population of 126 million people and a GDP of $5 trillion. 8. Israel. Israel, the only Jewish nation in the world, is a small country on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea. For its relatively small size, the country has played a large role in global affairs. The country has a strong economy, landmarks of significance to several religions, and strained relationships with many of its Arab neighbors. With a population of only 8.9 million, the GDP of Israel stands at $370 billion. Did you know that Israel is the only country in the world that has more trees today than it had 50 years ago? Now you know. 9. South Korea. South Korea, officially the Republic of Korea, is a nation in Eastern Asia with a long history of conflict that occupies the southern portion of the Korean Peninsula. Liberated from Japan in 1945 at the end of World War II, South Korea was invaded by communist forces in North Korea a few years later. Aid requested by United Nations helped end the 3-year war and support the South on its way to democracy. A critical divide between the two nations along the center of peninsula remains. And now, did you know that South Korea is the world leader in internet connectivity? Approximately 92% of the country's population are internet users, and they boast the world's fastest average connection speed. 10. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a giant of the Middle East, with both the vast majority of land and wealth of the Arabian Peninsula falling within its borders. Millions of devout Muslims from around the world participate in pilgrimage to Mecca each year. Believed to be the birthplace of the Muslim prophet Muhammad and the cradle of Islam, a fierce religious identity dominates the Sunni majority nation, with principles of the Quran, conservative Sunni teachings known as Wahhabism, and strict Islamic Sharia law present in all aspects of life. With a population of 33.7 million and a GDP of $782 billion, did you know that Saudi Arabia is the only country in the world without a natural river? Now you know. Did you enjoy our video? Which of these top powerful countries do you think will keep growing and why? Well, if you enjoyed our video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Please give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our weekly uploads. We value your feedback. Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comment section below.